Hi guys, welcome to Lifelong Gunner. Um, News in today. Ruben Amorim of Manchester United has been sacked. I just want to do a quick reaction to this. Obviously I'm a gunner, as the name suggests, but I heard that he got sacked as a consequence of him making some comments, or some statements directed at the board, and they weren't too pleased with that, and that it was not on field performances or results that led to his eventual end. But it's so funny because I've listened to a couple of Manchester United fans speak, some big accounts, some big podcasters speak, and it makes me understand how privileged I am to be a gunner in a situation that I find myself in as an Arsenal fan. Um, Not too long ago, we were in a similar position, not as topsy-turvy. I never lasted as long as the Manchester United and Chelsea debacle, but still felt similar, still felt the same way. We ended up with a manager after our long-serving Arsene Wenger. We ended up with a manager who just never felt right from the start. If we're being honest, we gave the guy a chance because we're decent people. We really wanted it to work. But why wouldn't you? At the end of the day, the bigger picture is your club, but it never felt right. And and we got rid of him, man. And by the grace of God, the next guy was the right guy, is the right guy. And that's why I don't understand why so many people um want him out, and a very weird disposition to have, especially when you look at what's going on around us. And especially when you look at the results and the position we're in prior to his um arrival at the club. But you know, my gosh, I mean, I have many friends that are Manchester United fans, and I'm just like, my God, man, I mean, it's like a never-ending cycle of manager changes, and it seems as if um, there's no right answer. I mean, they've had a very, 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 very long history of good fortune under Sir Alex Ferguson, and that has lasted a while. Luckily for them, they had that recent history of success to draw on for it to last, long enough. I know that they're not happy with that, and they currently want their club um competitive and vying for trophies year in year out. And it's a big club, so they should, if we're all being honest, but they don't have a right to. They should be because it's a big club, but nobody has that right to. You have to you have to you have to develop the right strategy. You have to get the right people involved. You have to, give that person the time, the backing. You have to surround yourself with competent people, not only on the pitch but off the pitch. You have to create calm within the club, and you have to create a winning mentality. Manchester United they have endured moments of success during all of these topsy-turvy time. Jose Mourinho, and then that guy Eric Ten Hag. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has also, one or two things. So they've been, they've still continued to be successful in some ways, but just not the big honest, right? All right. So who is next? I mean, I heard that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to probably take over as caretaker. I think of all the recent people, so of the last three, Amarin, Gunnar, and and um and Ten Hag, I think he's the best. I think Ole Gunnar is the best. And I don't know why they got rid of him in the first place. I know some people think because Manchester United fans always feel like they deserve better or they can get better. And they always end up with shit on their face. So it's just like, yo, you just need to have a manager that is competent, that wants to win, that has the club at heart. And there's nobody out there that wants a Manchester United to do well as much as a man like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has worn the shirt. He has been a loyal servant. What else do you want? A part of the reason why Arsenal is doing so well is because Mikel Arteta was club captain. He wore the shirt. It means something to him. Why would he get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? And you see what happened. Um, and you have players who come out and said that Ole Gunnar is like players like Rashford who said that they played their best football on the Ole. Rashford had his best performances on the Ole, you know, but he wasn't backed appropriately. These people in the board, they feel as if they know what is necessary, what is needed. They feel like they know what the direction of the club is when they don't. You know what I mean? And so they take charge of things that they have no kind of proficiency in, and it leads to just a pile of shit, to be honest. But anyways, so they fired this guy because he directed, or basically he disclosed, he gaslit them, he he spoke about the inefficiencies of the board and the process and the shortcomings and the lack of a real plan and the desire to get back to the top. And they fired this guy for that instead of taking ownership and accountability. Um, and acceptance that you're right, you decide to fire the guy. And that's the problem with power today, not just in football, but just generally speaking. Whether you're talking about Trump, Epstein, um, Weinstein, all the Steens, it seems as if these people all have something in common. But yeah, when it comes to these type of people in power, they always like to just kill or fire or create propaganda instead of facing up to their or being accountable for their actions. So I feel sorry for him from that point of view because he's a guy that obviously takes his craft seriously. Obviously, he wants to win. And he really feels, and he feels like even though he probably knew that he would have lost the job, that he was willing to go out in an honorable way. And as much and I don't know what Manchester United fans feel about Ruben Amorim, and I could care less, but at the end of the day, at least he is a man of honor. At least he stood for something. At least he wanted he wanted Manchester United to win even at his own expense. And there's something honorable in it. Um, anyways, guys, I know I rambled on a little bit, but that's basically all I wanted to say today. To be honest with you, if the mentality doesn't change at the board level, or if the board doesn't change, I know a lot of manu creators has already alluded to this that typically the show will go on, the results, the ideas, the narrative will remain the same. All right, guys. So do your boy a favor and subscribe to Lifelong Gunner. Happy New Year to you all. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you. All right. So subscribe, help your boy out. Turn on notification bell, share with a friend, and yeah. And I'll see you on the next one. All right. All right, guys. Peace out. Peace and love.